Today, we take a look at the case of Adrian Jones. In late 2015, police in Kansas City, Kansas received a call for a domestic dispute. When they arrived, they were greeted by Heather Jones, Adrian's stepmother, who had called the police on Adrian's father, Michael. And what she was about to tell them would be something they would never forget, that would make national headlines. If they looked around the property, they would find the remains of 7-year-old Adrian, whom she and Michael had killed and fed to their pigs. If you enjoy true crime stories, please don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell to be alerted each time a new video is uploaded. 3 years before the police's gruesome discovery, Judy Conway was fighting for custody of her grandson Adrian after he had been removed from her daughter, his biological mother's, home. Instead, DCF gave custody to Adrian's biological father, Michael Jones, a decision that would change the course of and ultimately cut short the young child's life. Adrian had many siblings. 6, in fact, all sisters. But he would not have the fortune of being treated the same as them. Oftentimes, when all 6 girls were treated with McDonald's, Adrian was given only plain oatmeal. All 7 children were isolated inside the home, apparently being homeschooled. But when the discovery of Adrian's body was made and Michael and Heather were arrested, Heather made a move that would show that not much schooling was going on inside the home at all, at least not for Adrian, who spent his final 9 months living in a world of constant abuse. It began when Heather contacted Jennifer Hovers, her former landlord, and gave her access to some of her online accounts, asking her to save pictures of the children. Hovers obliged, never imagining the types of pictures and videos she was about to see. Because not only did Michael and Heather Jones torture young Adrian for the better part of his final year, but they documented the abuse. You will not find the pictures in this video. Most are too graphic. All are too heartbreaking. Hover still has the pictures on her desktop. She labeled the folder House of Horror, an apt description of Adrian's prison, which had surveillance cameras in every single room to monitor Adrian's every move. One photo shows him being forced to stand with his arms up in the air for hours. In another, he's blindfolded and strapped to a table. You can see his health slowly begin to deteriorate, his condition worsening, as the pictures continue on and the young child is forced to stand neck deep in the family's filthy swimming pool overnight, dead bugs floating in the water around him. Surveillance video shows him handcuffed by the hands and feet and being forced to stay outside. The child looks around in the video, appearing to know he's being watched before attempting to use his mouth to pick up a bowl and eat what's in it. Heather then comes into the video, scolds and lectures him, and then can be heard telling Adrian's siblings he's eating a bowl of applesauce that has bugs and dirt in it. His last days got even worse as he was stripped naked and forced to stand in the shower stall for hours. Eventually, when he didn't have enough energy to stand, he was strapped to a chair placed inside the stall. This would be where Adrian would die, cold and alone inside the shower. Michael and Heather left him there for 2 weeks, going out and buying pigs, purposely starving them, and finally carrying their deceased son's body out to the pigs to be eaten. Hovers also found pictures of the pigs in Heather's account, a haunting picture knowing the situation. Hovers also had access to notes uploaded by Heather and her Facebook account and messages. In the final months of Adrian's life, Michael and Heather had stopped calling him by name and referred to him simply as the boy. Just strap the boy to my inversion table with handcuffs and ace bandages and put him downstairs, she told a friend on Messenger. In another message threads, she talks about tasing him, and pictures showing apparent taser marks appear to back up those claims. Judy Conway had suspicions her grandson was being abused in those final months, but Michael and Heather wouldn't allow her to see him. She called DCF twice, asking what her rights were as the child's grandparent, but they didn't help, and she was told nothing could be done without evidence of abuse. She recalls the final time she saw Adrian, the Christmas before his death, when she was getting ready to leave and Adrian wouldn't let go of her leg, telling her he loved her and wanted to go with her. Her response to him now haunts her, telling him she loved him, would always be there for him, and would keep him safe. Michael and Heather Jones both pleaded guilty to first-degree murder and received life in prison. She will be eligible for parole in 25 years. Him, 50. There was one more adult living in the home throughout the course of Adrian's abuse, his great-uncle, Willie Flowers. In one video, a scrawny, naked Adrian, who has apparently just snuck out from the shower, gets a bowl of water and then nervously hides on the ground behind a cabinet as Flowers enters the room. Adrian waits for Flowers to exit and then runs off with the bowl out of the room. But despite the kids allegedly being left in Flowers' care often, according to Hovers, he was never charged due to lack of evidence. Criminal defense attorney John Picerno said it's not a crime to live in a home while a child is being abused, or even tortured and killed, stating it is obviously ethically and morally a violation of being a good human being, but unfortunately, legally, it doesn't impose any liability on somebody. Investigators have spoken with several people who say they contacted DCF before Adrian was killed, and Judy Conway is fighting with DCF for her grandson's records. The agency refuses to give them to her, and a judge sealed Adrian's files. Despite Kansas enacting a law in 2004 stating when a child is killed or nearly killed from abuse that the files become public record, information is rarely released in those cases. Judy Conway's Change.org petition sits at 9,979 supporters. Victory, it says, with a little red flag beside it, indicating the petition reached its goal. Any victory that can be had after a life cut so tragically short is a good one. Hopefully it goes towards making sure no more children have to experience the horror Adrian did. Rest in peace, little guy. If you've made it this far, thank you for listening, and please consider checking out some of the many other true crime videos on my channel. Please don't forget to both subscribe and click the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a new video. I'm Jason Hebert, and I'll see you next time.